My name's Diana, and I like to dance. Welcome to Doing Stuff with Diana. Homies, what is up? Welcome back to Doing Stuff with Diana. I am your host, Diana. If you are new to this channel, I cover anti-MLM as well as pretty much anything I want. Hence the stuff. I have officially interacted with Christa. You know our girl, Christa, fried hair Monat lady, top performer in Monat. Somehow I accidentally reacted to one of her posts and she liked my reaction, and at first I was just like, oh dang, until my partner was like, shouldn't you block her because then she's gonna see that you have her in videos? And I was like, you right. So I blocked her for a while. Sad. Also, Louis, our boy Louis, has officially blocked me as well. Did I cut my own bangs? Yes. Can you tell? Also, yes. I don't care. Hair grows back. It is a sad day that I am blocked by Louis, but I just spy on him through my other pages. Oh, if you would like to follow me on other social networks, I am under My Milkshake 777. Under these places. I have a Snapchat, but it's abandoned. Don't request me, I won't add you. I also spy on Louis through my Dog Paw Central social, if you would like to follow that. Let's get on with the video, shall we? In my previous top MLM fail videos, I would organize them in a timeline, but I feel like at this point, their shenanigans are just kind of muddled everywhere that I'm gonna label them in sections. Part 1, the cringe. Let's start out with Christopher D. He is Louis' ex-passed upline who in the past would try to talk smack about him and blame him for not being successful in IM Markets Live, which, like, stop lying to yourself, that's not his fault. Christopher was Louis' upline. His upline, I believe, is Alex Morton, and that is who is talking on this video. And if you don't know who Alex Morton is, let me give you a little TLDR. Alex Morton has been involved in various scams throughout his career, honestly. One of the big ones being Vema in 2015. He actually ditched them before they started getting in trouble with the FTC about being a pyramid scheme, which they were. So he got out of that mess, and then he is now in IM Markets Live. That's the gist. These people are looking up to him because he's known as the millionaire.
Really, 2013, I see Chris Derrick on here. They've been here since 2013. It's going to be 10 years next year. And for me, I've been here since 2016, man. So number one, we're going to become aware that we have an unbelievable opportunity to create generational income. And let me just give you guys, a little personal thing here. I see Gustavo's on here as well, my man.
Can I just say, imagine being in an MLM for 10 years. I remember when I was in Amway and I was participating in their in-person meetings. I remember thinking, this is like the 6th time I've heard this. Am I just gonna have to hear this over and 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 over again? Or are they gonna change their content so that I don't get bored out of my mind? Spoiler alert, they're not. It's an MLM.
Let me give you something. Alex Morton, 32 years old. This is what I did today. My wife and I went and got new iPhones because we needed new iPhones, right? I did not have this phone. Last time Thad saw me, I did not have a blue iPhone, whatever the hell this is, 13 Pro, whatever. I was in Verizon. The sales rep, his name is Michael James, not making this stuff up. It triggered to me, you know what? This guy is sharp. He is well-spoken. He's making eye contact. So you know what? I prospected him.
Okay, first of all, that clip gets cut off too early for us to understand what the point of that story was. Maybe later he discusses something that's just so interesting that needs such an intro like what he just introed. Why is it that he had to start out with, I'm being real with you tonight. I, Alex Morton, 32 years old. I'm not making this stuff up. Like, you prospected a salesperson at Verizon. That's not an impressive thing to be making an introduction like that. Let's be honest. Imagine you're like talking to your spouse and they're like, hey honey. Yeah, babe. I, Diana, 29 years old. I gotta get this off my chest. I'm just being real with you. Is something wrong? I am not making this stuff up. What is happening? happening? I'm gonna make eggs and hash browns. Would you like some? Yeah, sure. Babe, I think we need to talk about the way you address things in my recent anxiety diagnosis. What was that?
Disgusted with our current situation, we will not change. All right, we will not change. I stepped on the scale 3 weeks ago, man, and I saw 207. I was disgusted. Today I'm 199.8, so I'm moving in the right direction, right? But I had to hit a point where I'm like, bro, I'm like, you're a joke, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Disgusted. So some of you on this call, you need to get maybe a little bit disgusted in your situation. Like, damn, man, I pulled my Chase Bank app and I got $1,300.
To shame yourself to get healthier? I am a huge health advocate just because, I don't know, I just don't like the idea of people hurting their bodies when they shouldn't. And the fact that he's willing to shame himself to get into a healthier weight range, I think is so toxic. And in the long run, is not establishing good, healthy habits to keep that up. Also, why is it that he goes from mentioning how long each one of them has been there and then talks something about generational income to going to get a new phone? Is he trying to say that having a phone means you're building your way to generational income? Because I have an iPhone and I broke as shit. My point being, he's all over the place and I'm not understanding what link he's trying to make between the phone and the web, but it ain't there. So many people nowadays talk about you shouldn't fat shame, you shouldn't be fat phobic. What about when you're doing it to your damn self and encouraging your friends and followers to do it too? That should be discouraged as well, because that's really messed up. As someone who has a body, I understand that my weight changes constantly. Sometimes I'm at my skinniest in my life, other times I'm my heaviest. That's just how life is, man. Life fluctuates, so does your body. That's why everyone jokes about like, oh, I'm gonna gain weight during the holidays. Yeah, because it's a thing. And then you stop eating the way you did during holidays and your weight goes back. Plus, weight is such an abstract concept. Hold on, let me explain. Let's say one day I drink a bunch of water. I step on the scale. Whoa, I'm 3 pounds heavier. What's up with that? Oh, I must have eaten so bad. No, it could be a variety of things that is affecting your weight. Okay, let me get off this pedestal because I'm getting mad, okay? Don't fat shame people. Don't fat shame yourself. Love your body in all its stages. I said what I said, okay? Your body works hard to love you. I'm done. Let's continue.
$1,300. Like, I don't even know what I would feel emotionally at 25 years old if I had $1,300 to my name. I would probably put my head through a wall. And I'm speaking very openly tonight. And for some of you, maybe I don't know what ranks this even is, but it's okay. You know, I don't know. Sometimes it's good to get the transparency.
Okay. For someone talking about generational wealth, $1,300 in the bank does not sound like that. You know what that reminds me of? One time when I was in Amway, me and my mentor were discussing finances and he happened to flash me his bank a little bit. And I want to say there was like $6,000 in there offhand, if I remember correctly. And I didn't think anything of it, but like a year or two later after I quit, I told my husband about that and he was like, $6,000 for a person who makes $500,000 a year supposedly? Sounds like bullshit. And I think that's what that is. It sounds like he's trying to humble himself by saying, oh, $1,300 in the bank. When I was younger, I would have thought that was a failure. But now I'm content with that. Again, the video was cut off, so maybe I'm misinterpreting what point he's trying to get to. But I feel like that $1,300 is not very impressive. And he knows it, and so he's trying to humble himself. But in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of showing that you're not as rich as you're making yourself out to be. I didn't fix my bangs a little bit. There's no fixing. I fucked them up. Let's get back to our boy, Louis. The cringe. This is why this is labeled the cringe. Let us continue, please.
Hey, I am so sorry to bother you. Are you the homeowner?
Yes.
Awesome. I know half of America already knocked on your door, right?
Yes.
They usually send the ugly ones first, so hopefully I get a better chance.
I was reviewing that video when my husband was in the same room as me and that audio played. And he was like, to say a line like that, you better look like Brad Pitt. And like, I'm sorry, but okay, I'm not gonna comment on his looks because that's mean. People can comment on me and ridicule me. So, you know, I'm not gonna do that to him. However, let me make a point. Normally, if you know how to talk, you could get away with anything. And I feel like that's what he was trying to do there, you know? Like, normally they send the ugly ones. You know, like if you have the confidence, which I don't, you can get away with it, right? A sly little line like that, that's clever. He did not deliver with that confidence. Maybe he wanted to look like he was stumbling over that statement so the potential customer could feel bad and kind of be like, oh look, he's just like me, like an equalizer in a way. You and me are one and the same. That's kind of like the subconscious message he could have been trying to deliver by not delivering that line so good. I could see that. Yeah, cringy. I'm grateful that I at least don't have to try to talk smooth like that to make a sale. Fuck that. Part 2. Hashtag cult vibes. I saw this on Reddit. Got a full team photo and 5 ladies got our team tattoo today. This is all I ever needed. The door is always open for whoever is ready. The white dresses, all matching. The tattoos. Guys, it's a cult. I was in a cult. A corporate cult. I call it when I see it. Guys, what are we learning from this situation? Don't get a tattoo for the company you work for. Point blank. Would the corporate building get a tattoo of you on them? No. Is there a reason why all 50 states are still at will employment? Yes. Because they don't love you. Don't get a tattoo of the company you work for. Yes, I said work for because people in MLMs are independent contractors. Speaking of cults, ecoshield is something else, okay? If there's anyone out there that would like to comment and sees this video, how normal is what I am about to show you in sales? I only got one witness. I only got one person in my life that was in sales tell me that they did not experience this. So let's see what you think.
I want you guys to feel my aura. It's passing through all you guys right now. We're all gonna sling 10. 10 times for you. You get a 10 spot. You get a 20 spot. You get an 80. You count on 31, 2, 3.
It just hit me that during that whole circle, he was telling each one, like, you're gonna get in the top 10 rank of sales. You're gonna get in the top 10 rank. You're gonna get in the top 80. I'm like, you know, there's only so many spots in the top 10 sales, right? You can only wish that on so many people. How's that gonna work? The math ain't mathing. Here's another example, the same culty thing.
We can't be beat. Yeah, we can't be beat. Won't be beat. Won't be beat. Won't be beat.
These get-togethers of them pumping each other up kind of remind me of those moments of bonding that Amway tried to do where they make you feel closer to the people that you're working with. For example, in Amway, when they would have those big attendance things in the stadiums, they would like do a little dance party before they started and everyone would be dancing and hanging out. Or like on Sundays, which I would always ditch, on Sundays they would have like prayer sessions in the mornings before their thing started. So the fact that Louis, a boy, is treating these people like friends, but they're also his work colleagues, I feel like that's just gonna make it even harder for any one of them to try to leave when they see that the sales isn't working out or panning out for them like they wanted to. Imagine, like, you've gone through so many motivational sessions together with these people. It's almost like losing a group of friendship if you quit, aka like a cult, a corporate cult. This sales chant is my favorite out of the 3. They're ready for war, guys. Homies, you guys are in direct sales. Calm down. To be fair, our boy Louis did one time say that direct sales is one of the hardest jobs out there. So maybe to him, he is in war. Would you like to buy our pest control services in these trying times? Now we shall visit our girl Christa from Monat.
I am so freaking pumped. And there's so much, you guys. I want you to keep a lookout. I'm going to be talking about, or I'm going to be sharing all of my girls and what they've done this month. And I know I've shared a little bit, but like there's so much going on. So many girls qualifying for the Bahamas. Right now, I think we're at 43 girls on my team. And I mean, we're going to have more by the end of the night. But my first Bahamas trip, I only had 4. And now I have like over 40. It's so crazy. I'm so proud. So there's so much momentum in our business right now, and you guys, I just want everyone to be a part of it. Like, I'm just so freaking excited. I feel so proud and so happy. Okay.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of momentum right now in Monat, spiraling downwards. Yeah, the market is hot right now because people are leaving in flocks, but we'll get to that evidence in a little bit.
I'm out here with my little babies, and they're closing the month out with me. What's wrong?
There's water in it.
There's water in it? Well, yeah, that's because you stuck it under the water. You want me to drain it?
Yeah.
Okay, BRB. Gotta go drain an RC boat.
Maybe I'll get heat for this. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stick to my opinion. But it seems that she was outside hanging out with 2 kiddos in the pool, and it seems that she was the only one out there, and she was on her phone while the kids were in the pool, and I just don't think that is safe. I think she needs to pay attention better. I only went to 1 pool school for my toddler, and they say when there is a person watching the kids in the pool, they are only doing that, the one thing. Based off of what she posted, she was the only one out there with a phone and watching them. I just don't like that. I do not agree with that. And I know that this summer she had a drowning incident with one of her kids, and so I just wish and I hope that that incident taught her, like, I need to fully focus on my kids when they're in the pool. Not that I'm shaming her for it, because I get it, you know, I'm a mom. I don't want to mom shame her, so that's why I'm kind of skimming over that drowning incident that she had. I just think she needs to be way more careful than that. And I would like to think if I was doing something not safe for my daughter, someone would call me out too. So yeah, put your phone down around the pool if you're watching your kids, girl. Let's move on to part 3, more cringe. So one time Louis posted this. I remember when a mentor of mine told me there's no such thing as burning out. Some people just aren't inspired enough. And that stuck with me heavy. Yes, there is. Yes, there is such a thing as burning out. You can physically feel it when you're sitting there looking at something and you just want to give up on it. If you push through that feeling and like work on it anyways, I think maybe you'll grow to resent that project or that task that you're trying to do. That's what I've noticed happens to me. Also, he said that he's gonna continue his YouTube because I guess he's trying to push his YouTube, and he stopped for a while. He stopped advertising it, but he's bringing it back up now. He posted this, the life in the movie coming soon of his life. He must be doing something crazy, right? That requires a movie. But then within that same like time frame, or I think that same week, he posts this. Any up and coming videographers and creative directors in Scottsdale, Tempe that are open to working for free for 90 days? Hashtag if you know, you know. There's always a bigger reward at the end of the journey. That's like when you ask someone to pay for exposure. He posted this ad looking for a videographer twice. So I'm pretty sure no one has stepped up so far to take on this challenge. Trust me, I get it. Video editing and just doing a bunch of jobs at once for YouTube is kind of hard. Just this past week ago, I made a little bit of soundtracks. Boo, 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 boo. And I was like, wow, I literally have to be multi-talented in order to make a YouTube. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying my soundtracks were very good. I'm just saying copyright strikes and all that causes you to do more work than you would if they didn't exist. So I get him that he wants someone to work for free, but that's just not how the world works. That's messed up. What are you gonna do? Promise them like, oh, if you get monetized, you're gonna give them a little bit of royalty? Huh? He can't even say that. He's just saying there's always a bigger reward at the end. But of course, because he's from an MLM and direct sales background, he doesn't understand the core concept that people like to get paid for their work. Like to him, it's okay to not get paid for your work. Essentially, I wonder why he put a big red circle around the word free. Could it be that maybe someone was like, I'll do it, but I would like to get paid? So I bet he was like, no thanks. Let's emphasize the word free so people don't get confused. Okay, let's do the math on this post. When you've knocked on the same house 12 times since May and they finally answer the door for the multi-year. This was posted on August 6th. Oh, so that means that he had 9 to 13 weeks in that span of time that he was knocking on that person's door. That means that he knocked at that person's door 1 to 1.3 times per week until they finally decided to get the pesticide service. Maybe the person finally decided to pay for your pest control company so you could leave them alone. Ding dong. Hey, I got a real nice shovel here. You interested? I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Slam. Ding dong. Hey, got a nice shovel here. Sir, I do not want your shovel. Slam. Ding dong. Yo, it's your boy, the shovel dealer. Okay, look. How much is it? $25. Take it. I'll buy it if that's what it takes for you to leave me alone. Wow, I didn't think I'd get this far. Here, let's take a selfie so I can show my comrades that I made a sale. Take a look at this one. So he pans out to a beehive and it says, legit just told me, quote, I don't need your help. It's fine, I'll take care of that, unquote. What? Bro, they're lying to you. They just don't want your service. Also, this guy freaking records people's houses, like the front of their house too sometimes, just to shame them. At least most of the times that I have seen him record people's front of their house is to shame them. Their signs, or like the one time that he shamed that guy because he was spraying while he was trying to sell to him. Is shaming customers and putting it on your public profile a sales tactic now? Because I would like to see the numbers on that sales tactic and if it is actually working. I bet he even had an attitude when they said no thank you. Bet. I mean, I guess you can't bet. I'm not gonna ask him, but I bet. Okay guys, last but not least, part 4. Sure, that happened. Our boy Louis. People worry about me posting stories and highlights often, but there's a reason to my madness. Build your brand one brick at a time. 100 emoji. Bro, no one says that to you. I promise. I guarantee you, no one has ever approached this man with concerns over his social media content. He also posted, you can be selling a bottle of water for $1 and your friend will buy it from someone else for $3 because you didn't sell it to him for 50 cents. Don't let that go over your head. Whenever he says that, don't let that go over your head, which, because of course this isn't the first time he's done it, it always bothers me because it sounds like so condescending, like he just said something so out of this world that we're just gonna have to sit here and try to evaluate it a little further because it's too deep for us guys. It's a miracle we can understand his complexities and that they don't go over our heads. I bet this attitude is coming from his family not supporting him because he's in companies that they don't agree with, like ecoshield or like the previous MLM company he was with. How much you want to bet it's just because they don't support those companies and don't support him? And so he's like, oh, it's because you guys want a discount. No, bro.
Way too often people ask, Lewis, why do you post so much? Lewis, why are you always posting on social media? To be honest, there's a lot more people that post way more than me, and those people make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month sometimes. And, you know, I follow where the success leaves clues, and, you know, that's all it is.
Again, no one has ever walked up to him and be like, Louis, why do you post so much? I can guarantee it.
Most people tell me that they live a movie, but they want to play an extra. Don't live your life as a movie and play as an extra. Remember? And before I forget to say this, just remember that there's no one way to make money. We live in one of the greatest countries in the world, if not the greatest, and there's so many.
Who walked up to him and was like, Louis, I want to live my life as an extra in my own movie, you know? No, stop lying to yourself.
We live in one of the greatest countries in the world, if not the greatest, and there's so many opportunities to make money that if a guru or your mentor, quote unquote, tells you that the only way to make money is their way or the highway, then I highly suggest you run away. Because for me, becoming open-minded to every single facet of business and ways to make entrepreneurship work, because entrepreneurship is not a pretty journey. It's not trust the process and hope it works. It's trust the process and make sure you feel good doing it. And that's just my personal opinion. So with that being said, just take a quick look. And I said this last night, take a quick look around, take a moment to see if the people around you are actually helping you progress forward or if they're blindly holding. And of course I got cut off, but like I was saying, if it got cut off and you didn't hear it, make sure the people that you keep around you are progressing you forward.
The part where he says, your mentor, ooh, that's throwing shade at Christopher. Because we know that he had a falling out with him. He's saying that your mentor doesn't want you to grow if they tell you that their way is the highway. That's not the case. They do want you to grow, right? Because at the end of the day, if you grow and you're on their downline, they're gonna make some bank too. But what is upsetting for him is that they're gonna ask him to only stick to that. Which of course, they're gonna say because it benefits their wallet. I bet his little mentor that he is upset with knows that, yeah, maybe you should invest in this and do that and put your money in this. But that's not benefiting me. So I'm not gonna give you that advice, dude.
And of course I got cut off, but like I was saying, if it got cut off and you didn't hear it, make sure the people that you keep around you are progressing you forward, not holding you back. Because even if you feel as if you're progressing, oftentimes most new entrepreneurs are blinded by a mentor, by a coach, somebody that means well, but they just don't want you to grow, hold you in a cage and tell you, you got to do this because that's how I've always done it. But we fail to realize that we have our own strengths and weaknesses, and we can't allow someone else to dictate that. So remember, just take a moment to sit back, relax, and breathe. Smell the flowers outside, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It is for everybody. I'll see you guys later.
I'm confused what his point is. He's acting like pursuing entrepreneurship is a difficult task that we have to do, but his old mentor isn't doing entrepreneurship. Does that not count? Because when he was in the MLM, that was entrepreneurship to him. So now he's trying to hint that his mentor's not pursuing entrepreneurship. Also, he said, sit back, relax, breathe. Bro, just a few slides ago, you told us that there's no such thing as burnout. What if someone feels burnout and they want to sit back, sigh, and breathe, like you are advising? Wait, but burnout doesn't exist. So what are they sitting back from? Here we go with our girl, Christa.
All right, I just got out of the shower. And I legitimately am like crawling out of my skin with excitement over this podcast that I just listened to. My phone's on 3%, so I'm going to try to like get things out. But you guys, I'm like, when you just listen to something, I literally like want to cry right now. Because you listen to something and so much makes sense. Like, you can literally think back to every single situation where, like, God had a plan. And that plan didn't make sense to us in that time. So Ivy and I send each other, like, podcasts and different, things that we listen to or like or whatever. And she had sent me this podcast. And it was on leadership. And I completely spaced it. Usually I go and listen, like, right away. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw this on. Okay, so the first quote that I'm taking away from this is, the best thing that you can do is serve someone else's vision, okay?
This type of mindset is what got me to stay in I Am Academy a little bit longer than I should have. When I was skeptical, yes, when I was skeptical about it and I went to go see Alex Morton talk about I Am Academy, which at the time I think it was I Am Markets Live, this is what he said. He was like, this opportunity is so great. Why wouldn't you share it with people? That's selfish. And that's when I was like, whoa, that's true, bro. Framing it from that perspective really helps in lessening the blow when you have to feel invasive and ask people for their money for your scam. I feel like framing it from the perspective of that you're helping people, it lessens the blow of knowing that you're almost white lying to get people to give you their money. At least that's what I think was happening in my subconscious when I was in Amway. Oh, you're helping people. You're helping people. Are you? You convince yourself you are, certainly, so you don't feel so guilty.
You start an Instagram, you want to jump to the top. So people are buying followers, they're paying for ads. That's all they care about is just getting views, getting seen, getting this, getting that, right? And in my business I'm in, so many people quit because they don't get to a certain place by a certain time, or, you know, in their head they thought that.
Doesn't that sound like she's calling herself out? She's saying people buy ad space on Instagram and people try to get their numbers up. That sounds like you did that, homie.
In their head they thought that they would be further by this time. And when you're hidden, that's when all the things happen. Now, I'm telling you this because my journey starts way back, you guys. I started my first business where I grew so much in that business for this business. Like, I know so many things that God put me through in that business were literally preparing me for this business. And what I'm gonna die and I'm shaking and I want to finish telling you guys what I want to tell you. Okay, so there were so many moments of failure in that business. So many times when it was like, this is my break. This is what I mean, you guys, for those of you guys who don't know, I literally worked my fingers to the freaking bone. I have scars all over my hands to prove it. I built wood furniture with my bare hands and I installed it. I did the whole thing, okay? The worst thing that can happen to a new leader is to be discovered too soon. How shaking is that? I don't know about you, but it is for me, because do you have the experience, the knowledge, the mindset, the mental health? Do you have all the things to lead someone? Okay, and I'm not saying. All right, I plugged my phone in and I'm still just so fired up from that, because as I was listening to that, I'm literally, you know, when you have flashes in your head of different memories or times or situations when you were just so let down.
She's saying that you shouldn't be discovered too soon because that can be bad. But in an MLM, isn't that what you want? You want to be the first one to find an MLM, to be on the ground running, as they say.
You just felt why is God doing this to me? What is his reason? What is the purpose? What is, and for me, it was a TV show. It was a TV show for years. It was every single time something would happen. And that's what I thought my break, the big thing that was going to happen with building furniture. And I thought that would, ultimately lead to maybe getting a line with a furniture shop or collaboration with, a celebrity or something that would grow my business. It's this whole time, God had this perfect plan for me. And it's you ever go somewhere, you ever go on a vacation or go, I don't know, anywhere. And you're stressed out. You're stressed out about it. And then it's over before you know it. And you're why did I waste that time being stressed out? I wish I would have enjoyed the moment more, or I wish I would have, just soaked it in, because now it's done and over with and gone. Okay, planning a kid's birthday party. I know, don't even act like you haven't, because you have been stressed out planning a kid's birthday party or the day of an event or something, and you're just running all over. You don't get to enjoy anything, and it's God, I wish I would have just chilled out a little bit. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal that, like, the wrong chip showed up from my, you know, my freaking DoorDash. Like, whatever. So, anyways, all of those. So that's all I could think about. That's all I could think about right now is the worst thing that can happen to a new leader is to be discovered too soon. And had something happen with one of those shows, you guys, I guarantee you, my husband and I would have never worked things out. Like, we wouldn't have our younger babies.
I guarantee you we wouldn't have been in a pyramid scheme.
My life would have been like huge. Like, I can't even imagine being a TV star. Like, that is not the life that I want. That's not the life that I would ever desire. And I don't know. It's
for someone who doesn't desire being on TV, she sure be posting a lot on Instagram. Very intimate moments with her family on vacation, hanging out with her kids, talking about the time that one of her kids almost drowned. That's the only reason why I know, because she's talking about it on her stuff.
I don't know. It's just, you know, when you're in that business mindset of just thinking like, this is the only way for my business to grow. Like, this is the only, I don't know. It's just crazy. And then what God gave us through Monat and this team, these people in my life, like, I don't know. I'm just so grateful.
Okay, so she's all talking about how she's just here to help people and that God helped her through Monat and now she wants to do the same for others. Well, I'm sure we all know in the anti-MLM sphere that Cece Suarez, who is another anti-MLM channel, did an expose on some internal files that Monat accidentally had left out to the public. And when Cece Suarez did that, guess who I saw on the list? Yeah, our girl Christa. Her income went from, in April, she was making around 215 million. And in May, literally the next month, she went down to 157K. Yeah, so I would say definitely there is much more motivation other than helping people. To be fair, being money motivated isn't a bad thing. We live in a society that kind of requires it to survive. The only thing that would make you seeking money evil or bad is if you do it through evil ways, like scamming people in pyramid schemes. Christa. So of course, that's why she's disguising her panic as, oh, I just love helping people. Of course she's gonna disguise her loss of money as a kind gesture to all and all of humanity. So how long have you been working here at Ulta? Well, first of all, I don't work here. I guide clients to the makeup set that's going to make them feel beautiful and at their best self to take on the day. Oh, I didn't know Ulta had a volunteering program. They don't. I work here. Yeah, I get paid. Wow, that was the last post. Crazy. Guys, don't join an MLM. How much you want to bet our girl Christa is going to go from earning 250K to earning 157K to NA because she's going to ditch and go to something else. Or maybe not, because she's talking about God bringing Monat into her life. Maybe she'll just stick by it. We'll see. If you would like to see more, please like, share, subscribe, comment. You know, the YouTube things. I'm a YouTube hashtag slut. I will see you in my next video. Peace out, homies. Yoink.